Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another anti-character guide. Today we're going to be looking at Anna, and more specifically we're going to be looking at Anna's hammer chance stance. This stance right here that you can see. Now, if you're like me and you struggled against this stance a lot online, whether it be ranked or quick play or just playing with your friends, this is the video for you. I'm going to give you the answers that are there against this stance. I won't have all the answers because unfortunately there aren't. For some of the transitions that she goes into hammer chance from, like on hit, there really is no answer. You just have to take the mix up. Unfortunately, that is just the character. But there is some stuff that we can do. It's not all hopeless, right? So there is some stuff that we can do to counter this defensively, and I'm going to be showing you some of the things that we can do. It is a little bit complicated, so bear with me. It's a bit like the Heihachi guide if you watch that one. There's some side-step right duck stuff that we can do. Specifically, side-step right duck is a very important one I'm going to show you in a minute. But there is some stuff that we have to choose when we're approaching defense in these certain situations that I'm going to show you. Now, the first thing I want to talk about when we're talking about Anna's hammer chance stance is the fact that she can cancel into a block. Just like with Heihachi's Wind God Kame stance and Jin's Zanshin stance, we can always cancel into a block. So when she goes into hammer chance stance from transitions that she does, she can always choose to block rather than commit to one of the moves out of the stance. This is really important to know because it plays into what we're actually going to do to counter this stance. The second thing I want to go over just before we go into specifics is that she can cancel from the hammer chance stance to Chaos Judgment by pressing back 3. This is really important because a lot of what Anna's I've seen have done online is do this kind of approach where they're mixing up hammer chance stance into Chaos Judgment. So there is always something to be aware of when you're fighting against Anna. She doesn't have to commit to anything in this stance or block. She can also go into Chaos Judgment. That's something we're going to cover in another video because I just really want to go over hammer chance in this video because in order to understand the stance, it might take a bit of time. I don't want this video to go on forever. But if you guys do want to see me go over Chaos Judgment with Anna, I will do that if it gets enough comments or likes or whatever you want to call it. If there's enough attention and you guys want to see that, then let me know in the comments and I'll get onto it. So we're going to split all of these transitions that she goes into hammer chance from up into groups, just like we did with the Heihachi guide, if you've watched that, because it's very important to know what the frames are when she goes into stance on block and on hit, because some of these defensive plays that we're going to do are very specific to the frames. In fact, all of them are very specific to the frames. So the first transition we're going to look at is down forward 3-2, hold forward. Firstly, when she goes into hammer chance from this, she is -2 on block, and if you saw before, she's +4 on hit. This is super important. Now on block, something to note, like we said before, she can go to block again, right? But the thing is, just like with Heihachi, if you watch that, her cancelling and then pressing down back and pressing back again to block, there are some frames in between that, so she can actually be punished. Now I've got Anna on the left because I'm demonstrating stuff on P1 as well as P2. So, and unfortunately Anna doesn't have a 12 frame mid punish, right? But you can 12 frame this. You can fit a 12 frame mid in there, and it will work. So if she goes into hammer chance and commits, 12 frame mid will beat this. If she goes to block again, a 12 frame mid will also beat this. It covers both options. Obviously, she doesn't have to go into hammer chance. She can just do down forward 3-2 and then do nothing, or low parry if you want a dick jab or something like that. So be careful with that, but a 12 frame will work for those. If she's going to commit to hammer chance and you read that she's going to do it and you want a chunkier punish, a 14 framer will beat everything that she tries to do out of hammer chance. So the fastest thing that she can do out of hammer chance is the one option. It's 13 frames. This 14 frame move will beat it because remember that she is -2 when she goes into the stance, right? So my 14 frame, this is 3+4, so I think this is actually her ass that she's hitting with. This is the booty, right? So when she hits with her ass, she beats the shoulder, right? She beats the shoulder. Pretty important to know, if you want a really chunky punish and you make a hard read, you can fit a 14 frame there to beat all the hammer chance options that she has. From the transition from down forward 3-2, right? On block. Now I'm going to show you what you do on hit, because believe it or not, because she is only +4, we actually have some really good options here that we can do. They are pretty tricky. I'm going to show you what to do. Generally speaking, we want to side-step right duck. It might feel a bit weird because we're actually letting her hit us first before we implement the side-step right duck. But it is possible. Now I'm going to stop talking because this is really hard to do. If you want to counter some of these options, you have to be really sharp. You'll see why, and I'll explain in a minute. But some of these options are really hard to react to on time to actually get your punish. You have to be super sharp. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then we'll talk about it. I have not set it up properly. Give me a sec. That is the one option. That is one of the 2 string options. I'll show you the other one right now. This should be the 4 option, which doesn't beat, which our defense does not beat. Does not beat this 4 option. The funny thing about this, before we continue, is that on block, you can actually sidewalk this. It's very tricky though. There we go. But it does not work if we actually get hit by the down forward 3-2. So something to be aware of. You can sidewalk this, but it's very tricky, even on block. And on hit, you definitely cannot sidewalk this. This is the low. This is why we're doing a side-step right duck as opposed to a side-step right. And then, what's the last option? Oh, it's this overhead, right? Which I failed. But as you can see, this does work. Now, the reason I said this is tricky is because of the second 2 options that I showed you, right? Because she has follow-up attacks here, it's actually pretty difficult to react to her doing this string and then punish accordingly to interrupt the follow-up attacks. So you have to react. I'm talking now, so I'm messing it up, but you get my point, right? You have to react to her doing the string and then punish. See, I'm trading with her sometimes. And this is a 13 frame punish. You can actually get a while standing 2 here. But it's very, very tricky to do. And honestly, there we go. And honestly, what I would do personally in these situations as the OS is actually probably a while standing 13 framer. Or if I'm playing it super safe, I'll do a while standing 4. If you want to play it super safe, do a while standing 4. I know it's not probably what you want to hear if you want to get like a really good chunky punish, but to be honest, it's a really safe option to do, and at least you take your turn back and you're not dealing with a lot of plus frames into mix, right? So that's what I would do. If you're really, really confident and you're really, really sharp, you can go for a while standing 2 punish, like a 15 frame punish. It is possible, but it's very tricky. And with online latency and lag in online matches, personally, the most I would go for is a 13 frame punish here. But hopefully that demonstrates some of the defense you can do to this string being on hit, which is really useful for us. So that was for down forward 3-2. That is everything about that transition. I hope that makes sense. It will be tricky to side step right duck that. As you see, I'm having some trouble with it, and I've been loving this for a while. The on hit version, when you want to side step right duck, you have to be very sharp to not get hit by the follow-up attacks. But it is possible, and with some practice, if you copy what I'm doing and drill this stuff, it will become a lot easier, I think. So it is going to be tricky, but with some practice, I'm sure you guys can get it down. So that covers down forward 3-2. The next stance transition is 1-2 forward, which is pretty generic. It's a bit like Nina and this stuff, right? It's very similar to Nina, right? But 1-2 forward, it's just 1-2 forward. Goes into hammer chance. It is 0 on block. And on hit, it's +11. Now, almost everything I said about the down forward 3-2 transition applies to this 1-2 forward on block. It is neutral as opposed to -2 on block. So she has a little bit more advantage, which means that our 14 frame mid won't beat all of the hammer chance options. Instead, our 12 frame mid will beat all the hammer chance options, right? Because it's 2 frames. It's 2 frames more in Anna's favor, right, when she does this. So if you want to make a hard read and she's definitely doing something out of hammer chance on block, the 12 frame mid will beat everything. Dick jab punish wins every scenario, obviously. That is not a dick jab. This is a dick jab. And then if you want a chunky punish, when she does this, you can also do a sidestep right duck. And because this is on block and it's 0, it will be easier to get your while standing punishes. But you can do that on block, or if you just want to be safe and do like just take your turn back, you can, right? This is completely fake. This is very fake pressure. She can't do anything out of this. It's not her turn. This is not her turn at all. In fact, she's at a disadvantage here because she's in stance and she can't block in stance. She has to cancel out of the stance to be able to block again, right? So there's your answer for it on block. However, on hit, because it is +11, unfortunately you have to take the mix up there. There is no option select. There is no option selectable defense. You just have to take the mix up there, unfortunately. Down forward 1-2 is very similar. This is the next transition we're going to look at. It's very similar to Nina's transition from down forward 1-2. This is also neutral on block, so everything I just said about the 1-2 forward applies here on block. The same thing, right? Now for down forward 1-2 on hit, because it is +7, again, we have to take the mix up here. There's nothing we can do. Okay? Also, a side note, or something I forgot to mention about the down forward 1-2 on block. Oh, I nearly went to main menu. My bad. She can go into Chaos Judgment from down forward 1-2. Right? So be very careful about her committing to something from down forward 1-2. But she is -17 here, so take it as you will, but that's a pretty advantageous situation for us. Just make sure that you don't do any high crushing moves, because she can do a lot of very tricky stuff out of Chaos Judgment, which I'll save for another video, but it's a little teaser there, I guess, for what's to come.
Post-edit Eagle here. Forgive me if my voice is a bit rough. I've just woken up, and while editing this video, I realized that I didn't mention that she has 2 extensions out of down forward 1. One is a mid and one is a high, and the high one counter hit launches, or doesn't counter hit launch. It gives you a guaranteed extension for the booty, right? So when you are countering this, if she does it on block and you want to retaliate, if you think she's going into hammer chance, be very careful of the follow-up. So make sure to visually confirm that she goes into hammer chance from down forward 1-2 before you actually do anything, because this is a counter hit for a guaranteed follow-up here. So you want to be really, really careful. And as you can see, from a certain distance, she's actually plus 15, so you can get fully launched here in certain situations. So be very careful about retaliating against downward 1-2. Make sure you visually confirm that she's going into hammer chance before you take your turn back. Now, the other ways that she can go into hammer chance are only from moves on hit. This does nothing on block, but if it hits, she automatically goes into hammer chance. Right, this is a... I actually used the wrong move first. Well, I want to use a down back 4 first. Shifts to hammer chance on hit. On block, she can't do anything. Can't manually go into hammer chance like by pressing down forward or anything like that. On block, she doesn't do anything. On hit, this automatically goes into hammer chance, right? Unfortunately, plus 8, or at -8 for you. There is no OS defense here. Maybe a power crush if you're feeling a little risky. But really, just like with the downward 1-2, it's plus 7 on hit. There's nothing really you can do but take the forced mix-up. Honestly, with the forced mix-up stuff, the only thing you really have to be aware of is this homing low. I say only. She's -3 here. But the thing is, she can go to Chaos Judgment and make it plus 4. So it is obviously very good for her to have a homing low that goes into another mix-up situation from stance. Right? But, as opposed to eating all the other mids that she has, you know, there's one homing low. If you work it out statistically, it's less risky to just stand block than risk low blocking, unless the Ana you're fighting loves to go low. Yeah, because Ana does have some really good lows. That'll be something you determine throughout the match, I guess. But personally, if I know nothing about the Ana player, I'm just stand blocking this. When it's forced, at least. When it's forced like this. Now, moving on, 1-2-2 doesn't go into hammer chance on block, but on hit, if the 2 hits, plus 12 in hammer chance. Again, it's a forced mix-up, you can't do anything. 2-2, again, plus 12, forced mix-up. On block, it does nothing. She can't go into hammer chance. Back 4, plus 11 into hammer chance. Force mix-up. And on block, she does nothing. It's kind of crazy that these are safe, right? But hey-ho, this is what we got, right? A safe mid that goes into plus 11 on hit for a force mix-up. Anyway, up forward 2, plus 12 into force mix-up. On block, it's safe at -8. But she doesn't go into hammer chance. She can't go into hammer chance here. That covers all the different transitions that Ana can go into hammer chance from. All the different moves that she can go into that stance from. I know that the second half of this video is basically me telling you to guess, and there isn't really much you can do. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But I thought it'd be a good idea to do this video, just because the first half of this video, hopefully you took something away from what I said about the down forward 3-2 forward, for example, on hit. Like, there are some answers to this stuff. It's unfortunate that there aren't more defensive options against this stance, but maybe we'll wait. Maybe in the next patch, in July 8th, we'll get maybe some less oppressive frames from Ana when she goes into stance. For hammer chance, at least. We'll have to take a look at Chaos Judgment and see what's going on there. But for now, this is what we have. If things change, I'll probably update this guide with another one. But for now, that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please leave a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. And if you're new here and you want to find your way back, hit the subscribe button down below. That's going to be it from me, guys. Much love. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.